Right, let's turn our attention to Super Sunday, arguably the game of the weekend. Arsenal travelled to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea. So you spoke to Mikel Arteta a bit earlier on. How is his team shaping up, Ben, for the weekend? Yeah, David, compared to Pep Guardiola, he was very talkative and he was very upbeat ahead of this game on Sunday at Stamford Bridge. However, he did admit that he had to be quite vague when it came to some of the fitness issues that Arsenal have got. Remember, Declan Rice didn't travel to Milan for the Champions League defeat against Inter on Wednesday. There was a foot injury. There's been reports that maybe he's got a broken bone in his foot. He wouldn't confirm or deny that, Mikel Arteta, but he did say that he basically is in contention for Sunday and they'll have to assess him over the next 48 hours. Looks like better news, even more better news with regard to Martin Odegaard. And remember, he hadn't played for Arsenal since August the 31st when they drew against Brighton at the Emirates Stadium until he came on very late, albeit very late in stoppage time against Inter Milan on Wednesday night. So he made that small appearance then in midweek, and he is in contention maybe to even start at Stamford Bridge. As for Michael Morono and Kai Havertz, they both came off with knocks to the head, but the mood music around those two is quite positive. It does feel like that they both will be available for what looks like a really crucial game against Chelsea. And Dalmish, I have to say recent results haven't been the best. Is this essentially must win on Sunday or must not lose? How would you term it? We could term it in must win or must not lose, but Mikel Arteta will interpret that in a very different way. Yes, up until 3 games ago in the Premier League, Arsenal's record this season was 5 wins and 2 draws and no defeats from their first 7 games. Since then, it's been 2 defeats and a draw, so 1 point from a possible 9. He wouldn't go as far as to say that it's a must win. He clearly wants to win on Sunday, and he basically just carried on with that kind of tone when we spoke to him a little bit earlier on. Yes, he does want to win this game, but he's noticed that the competition within the Premier League is such that some of the teams that aren't expected to beat some of the bigger teams are doing exactly that. So the competition is closing in and he expects all of the top teams to be dropping points towards the end of the season. We have missed certain points in the last few weeks. Obviously, the margins have become smaller and smaller. It doesn't mean that the margin doesn't exist no more, but more perfection is going to be demanded for the future. So for sure we want to win. We have to prepare, and we have prepared the game to win it, and that's the only thing that is in our heads. No, we don't need a reset. We need, in one particular aspect, go from 95 to 100. I'm not going to tell you what that is. I think everybody has been consistently struggling with the level that there is in this league and in general in Europe, playing every 3 days at the level. Because the temperature has gone up another level, the level has gone up another level, and to win, and win, if not, I would put my fingers here that nobody is going to do 100 points this year. But it will require perfection to keep winning, and even the teams that are winning, the margins are being like this, or the moments in games they've been like this. So, very tough, but this is the task. We don't know how it's going to play out if there is a team that is able to do something like this, but everybody is struggling even if he's winning. That's the thing. And sometimes the margins you could feel were bigger in games. They are not at the moment. I haven't seen a team being that superior to other teams. But at the end, the fact is that you have to continue to win and find ways and details to keep the right to win the games. Yeah, I mentioned it has been 1 point from the last 9 for Arsenal, but they've been here before. If you go back to last season in December, they went through a similar run. They drew with Liverpool, and then they lost against Fulham and against West Ham. Again, 1 point from a possible 9. They then made that winter warming trip to Dubai, and they returned from Dubai and won 8 Premier League games in a row. Clearly, the football calendar today is not going to allow Arsenal and Mikel Arteta to travel to sunnier climes just now, but he has revealed he's been doing everything he can to turn around Arsenal's form. Well, obviously, when you don't win, it affects the mood, it affects the energy. But the positive thing is that there is nobody impossible in this room or outside that wants to win more than I do, and that these guys in the dressing room want to do. It is impossible. So that desire today, I had a meeting with them about it, and I can sense it straight away. And what I sense as well is a big belief in how good we are as a team. That's the joy of this team, that you go in there this morning and thinking of how they're going to feel after that, and we talk about, and they are there, they are paying attention, they are hungry, they want to do more. What else we can do? What? And it's unbelievable. The desire they have, the togetherness they have, it's just a joy to work with them. It does not matter. At the end, we cannot go to Dubai for a week like we went last time. We can go to Dubai still for 2 days. If that's the solution, we go forwards and backwards, and that the team is doing 10 times better things than we used to do at that period. That's the positive thing. But to all this to be clear and relevant, you have to win, especially to answer certain questions. Liverpool and Manchester City both play on Saturday before Arsenal travel to Stamford Bridge. Now, if Liverpool and City were both to win their respective games on Saturday, Arsenal will go to Stamford Bridge, 10 points behind the leaders Liverpool and 8 points behind the champions Manchester City. And it's not going to be easy to close that gap again because Chelsea are a team on the rise and Mikel Arteta has been really impressed with how they've developed, particularly starting with Mauricio Pochettino last season and what he calls the touch that Enzo has applied to Chelsea this season. It has got a real feel of a big game, this one, and maybe one that Arsenal can't afford to lose because how big does that gap have to get for them not to be in this title race? Mikel Arteta won't be conceding anything win, lose or draw come Sunday, but will be debating it, no doubt. It is a live Super Sunday clash. It's unmissable. It's Chelsea against Arsenal. Thanks very mubuch indeed, Nolan. Yeah, it is an absolutely huge game with some big-name protagonists, the likes of Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer on the pitch, and these two in the dugout as well. And as far as the Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca is concerned, well, he believes that they are certainly in a bit of a better position. They're able to take the first real scalp of the season by beating Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. For sure, I would like to win this kind of game. But since we start, I always said the same, that for sure I analysed the result. But first of all, I analysed the performance. Hopefully we can win Sunday, we can win that kind of game. But also I think at the end, in this competition in the Premier League, it's important and it's difficult to win against any team. For sure, if I can decide, I would like to win against Arsenal on Sunday, no doubt. But also I think Liverpool away, the performance was very good. We didn't deserve to lose, even City. The good thing is that we are there, and you cannot see a big difference when we play this kind of game. And this is the most important thing. For sure, I don't have a doubt if it's Sunday or it's next game, but for sure we're going to be there and win this kind of game, no doubt. But as I mentioned, Chelsea and Arsenal level on points in the Premier League heading into the weekend. And Arsenal could be all of 10 points behind leaders Liverpool and 8 of the champions of Manchester City before kick-off at Stamford Bridge. So effectively, is there more pressure on Mikel Arteta rather than Enzo Maresca ahead of the game? I don't know, I also like to get the pressure from this kind of game. So the pressure is also for us. But for sure, as I said, for me they are the closest one with City. Both, I consider them better than the rest. And the reason why I said many times is because one club is working with the same manager 9 years and the other one is working with the same manager 5 years. And this is a big, huge advantage compared to the rest. So for me, that's why they are in this moment better than the rest. But we're going to try Sunday to make the life difficult for them. We're going to try our best. The feeling from us is that we can compete and we can win against any team. And if you don't take serious and if you don't do the right things, also you can lose against any team. But for sure, we have the right feeling that we're going in the right direction. And hopefully Sunday we can give our fans a good day. Well, Cole Palmer looks set to win his race to be fit for Sunday. He was selected for Lee England's squad yesterday, and Maresca revealed that he should be training with the squad latest tomorrow. So as we mentioned, it is a huge game for Chelsea against Arsenal on Super Sunday,